Hey, check out this 1970 Ford Mustang. It's a real classic. Did you know it was such a big deal back in the day? It made it to the covers of both Time magazine and Newsweek in 1964. Plus, it snagged the 1964 Tiffany Gold Medal for Excellence in American Design. Pretty impressive, right? And how about that Opal Diplomat E? It's got this cool 3-speed gearbox and was the cream of the crop for Opel AG. They pulled out all the stops with this one, building on their Captain and Admiral models to make something even more luxurious. Oh, and there goes a 1960 Ford Thunderbird. Talk about timeless elegance. It's one of those cars that never seems to go out of style. Now, let's take a look at this Rolls-Royce Silver Spur. Did you know the whole legacy of Rolls-Royce started way back in 1884? Henry Royce himself crafted the first car, a 2-cylinder Royce X, in 1904. Talk about a piece of automotive history. The Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud 1.2 SC. They made some updates to it in the early 80s, giving it a hatchback rear end. That really addressed some of the main criticisms people had about it, apart from the rust issues, of course. Oh, and there's the Chevrolet Camaro from 1981. It was the last hurrah for the second-generation Camaro, and didn't see too many changes from the previous year. Say goodbye to the RS option, though. Until it made a comeback in '89, that is. Check out the Austin A30. It's a small family car that Austin rolled out back in the 50s, competing with the Morris Minor. It's got that classic charm that's hard to resist. And speaking of classics, the Mustang GT has been getting some serious upgrades in recent years. With a 5.0-liter V8 engine under the hood, it's packing some serious power, 400 horsepower and 400 lb-ft of torque to be exact. Oh hey, there's the BMW 2002. Did you know that the E 2002 inches actually stands for 2-liter 2-door sedan? BMW really went all out with this one, dropping a 113 HP 2.0-liter inline-4 engine into it back in '68. And who can forget about the Audi Quattro? It's a legend both on the road and on the rally track, thanks to Audi's innovative engineering. The Audi 200 was an upper-middle-class vehicle offered by Audi between the autumn of 1979 and the summer of 1991 in 2 different model series, and represented an upgraded variant of the largely identical Audi 100. In 1966, the Mustang arrived with some updates to its appearance, such as a fresh grille, wheel covers, and gas cap. Interestingly, drivers of the powerful 225 horsepower V8 engine could now choose Ford's latest addition, a handy C4 Cruise-O-Matic 3-speed automatic gearbox. Cadillac Fleetwood Eldorado from the 70s. It's the epitome of personal luxury, don't you think? The Cadillac Fleetwood Eldorado, produced from 1971 to 1978, is a luxurious personal car under the Cadillac brand, manufactured by the U.S. company General Motors. Oh, and don't miss the Plymouth Roadrunner from 1968. It's a muscle car through and through, with a powerful engine that packs a punch. Hey, have you ever heard of the BorgWarner B611? It's a light commercial vehicle that BorgWarner churned out in the late 50s and early 60s. Pretty neat, huh? And check out that Cadillac Series 62. It's got those classic 50s vibes, complete with large fins and a V8 engine. Talk about style. The Cadillac Series 62, designed by Harley Earl, was a very large vehicle featuring a 6,390cc 390 cubic inches V8 engine. The back of the car had large fins, which didn't contribute much to performance or handling, but added to the vehicle's style. The design of the car was influenced by the space program and the era of jet engines. Weighing 4,400 pounds, the large car was fitted with drum brakes. Moving on to luxury, we've got the Lincoln Premier two-door coupe. It was the height of luxury back in the late 50s and early 60s, with room for 6 and all the bells and whistles you could ask for. And let's not forget about the Opel Captur 50. It's a real piece of German engineering, with different generations rolling out from 1938 to 1970. The Opel Captur 50 is a luxury car manufactured in several different generations by the German carmaker Opel from 1938 to 1970. In October 1948, the Captur was reintroduced as Germany's first post-war 6-cylinder automobile. It would have made sense to start building the Captur a year earlier, as the engine was also used in the Opel Blitz trucks at the time. But occupation regulations prohibited civilian sales of passenger cars with over 1.5 liters displacement. The 59 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. Now that's a car with some serious flair. Those tail fins and bullet taillights are just iconic. The 1959 Cadillac Coupe DeVille is known for its iconic design features, such as large tail fins, dual bullet taillights, and distinctive rooflines. In 1959, the Series 62 was reclassified as the Series 6200, and the DeVilles and two-door Eldorados became the Series 6300 and Series 6400, respectively. They all shared the same 130-inch wheelbase and were powered by a 325 HP engine. And who could overlook the Chevrolet Corvette C1? It's a true American classic, with a production run that lasted from 1953 to 1962. The Chevrolet Corvette C1 is the first generation of the Corvette sports car produced by Chevrolet. It was introduced late in the 1953 model year and produced through 1962. The most expensive Corvette, C1, ever sold was auctioned by Barrett Jackson in the United States in March 2021 for $825,000. The last time Chevrolet offered a two-door, two-passenger convertible / roadster body style was in 1938 with the Chevrolet Master. The Chevrolet Master and Master Deluxe are American passenger vehicles manufactured by Chevrolet between 1933 and 1942 to replace the 1933 Master Eagle. Moving on to the 49 Dodge Coronet, it was a standout in the post-war lineup with a powerful engine and sleek design. And how about that Volkswagen K70? It's a sedan that made waves in the 70s thanks to its front-engine, front-wheel drive setup. The Volkswagen K70 is a definitive four-door, front-engine, front-wheel drive sedan, developed by NSU and aggressively marketed from 1970 to 1975 by Volkswagen after its 1969 acquisition of NSU. A straight-four engine, also known as an inline-four, is an assertive four-cylinder piston engine with cylinders arranged in a bold line along a common crankshaft. And don't miss the Rover XII. It's a medium-sized family car that was a hit back in the early 20th century. The Rover XII was made by the British Rover Car Company from 1905 to 1948. The initial model, the Rover XII, was released in November 1905 with a four-cylinder water-cooled side valve engine. The updated Rover XII had a two-cylinder water-cooled side valve engine. And there's the Mercedes-Benz W114 and W115, a series of sedans and coupes with front engines and rear-wheel drive. They were designed by Paul Brack and produced from 1961 to 1976. Now, let's take a look at that 1974 Audi 100 LS Automatic. It's a real gem from the 70s, don't you think? And there's the Citroën 2CV as an absolute icon in automotive history, renowned for its exceptional sturdiness, practicality, and affordability. Its production spanned an impressive period from 1948 to 1990. Moving on to the VW T2, it's the second generation of Volkswagen's iconic VW bus series. It's got that classic bully charm that's hard to resist. And who could forget about the Ford Model A? It was the successor to the Model T and set the standard for cars of its time. The Ford Model A Roadster, 1928 to 1931, was the successor to the Ford Model T. It had a 3.3-liter four-cylinder engine with standing valves, producing about 30 kW-40 HP. A total of 4,320,446 vehicles were created in different versions. Speaking of the Model T, it's a true legend in the automotive world. From 1908 to 1927, Ford produced a staggering 15 million units, making it the world's best-selling car for decades. The Ford Model T is widely recognized as the first affordable car for the masses. From 1908 to 1927, a staggering 15 million units were produced, securing its position as the world's best-selling car until the VW Beetle claimed the title in 1972. Today, approximately 1% of all Model T cars are still in existence. Model T production started at the Piquet factory on September 27, 1908. The total production of the Model T was 15,007,034 units over 19 years. And let's not overlook the Ford Popular. It was Britain's lowest priced car back in the 50s and 60s, making it accessible to the masses. And last but not least, we've got the Volkswagen Beetle. With over 21.5 million units produced, it's one of the most iconic cars in automotive history. Oh, and don't forget about the Porsche 356. It's a sports car that's been turning heads since the late 40s, with a price tag that's just as impressive today as it was back then. Man, aren't old cars just the coolest? It's like taking a trip back in the past every time you see one on the road. If you enjoyed learning about these classic cars and want to see more content like this, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment below sharing your favorite classic car. And of course, share this video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.